So yes, welcome to my New York City vlog. I've been sitting on this for a minute, and of course it features the iPhone 15 Pro Max, my daily driver. Here I am waking up at about 9:45 in my East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York Airbnb. I got into the shower, got dressed, and was ready to take on the day. So to start off my day, I wanted to go grab some coffee and breakfast and also find a place to sit down and work on a script on another video that I was shooting here. You may have seen it. It was my iPhone 15 Plus battery vlog. So yeah, I decided to make my way to downtown Brooklyn to the Joe Coffee Company. And here I am taking the train in order to get there, of course. And here I am listening to the first song of the day, Masters of War by Bob Dylan, a banger and unfortunately pretty applicable to today's day and age. If you don't know who Bob Dylan is, he won a Nobel Prize in Literature, so great songwriter. I think he has a song for pretty much everything in every situation. Two of my favorites of his are Positively 4th Street and Don't Think Twice. But anyway, back to the video. We are now in downtown Brooklyn, and I am making my way to Joe Coffee, or not Joe Coffee, the Joe Coffee Company, but I had to take some pictures along the way here. Here's a 5x photo with that new telephoto, and here I am right outside of the coffee shop, really eager to get in there and to get something to eat. Here is the menu, and the guy totally saw me filming. I ended up getting a cappuccino and some kind of cream cheese, like something, I don't know what to call that. It was good though. Looks pretty as well, so I was totally that person taking way too many pictures and videos of my food, but it was for the vlog, so you're welcome. And then I got out my MacBook Air 15-inch. This is my favorite laptop, honestly. I love my MacBook Pro, but if I had to use one laptop, if I didn't need all the power, this would be it. And I was answering some emails and also scripting for this other video, like I said, my iPhone 15 Plus battery vlog. And I got some lady next to me to film this clip. Shout out to her, she was so chill. But I took a little Instagram break, of course, because I can never just do my work consistently. And then I shut my laptop and made my way out of there so I could then make my way to the Brooklyn Bridge. And apparently I'm in Brooklyn Heights, I misspoke, but nonetheless that's super close to Dumbo, which I took a quick walk to get to, and on the way I saw a building that's in my SKYLINE wallpaper pack. Check that out in the video description. And yeah, then I made my way to the Brooklyn Bridge, which had a beautiful view of a foggy skyline, so I took the opportunity to take a picture of that with the 1x camera. Got this nice 24 megapixel photo with the 15 Pro Max, of course, and then I made my way across the bridge, which is always a wonderful time. Pause if you want to see this woman staring at me. Next up, I had to find my way to another train to meet up with a friend for brunch. Although, can you call it brunch if it's after 1 p.m.? But, I mean, we're both gay, so I guess we can call whatever meal we want brunch if we want to call it brunch. But here I am listening to some Housework by Jax Jones, a real slept-on artist and song. And, yeah, just taking the subway, per usual. Always a vibe, especially when people aren't asking you for change or singing you a song or asking you what your favorite color is and whatnot. And it was at this moment I realized that I had completely underdressed for what was turning into a very cold and wet day, but nonetheless, I trudged along to this restaurant because I had to have brunch no matter what. Okay, that just sounded like a George Santos cameo, but anyway, I made it to Set Hospitality, this great restaurant on the Lower East Side, immediately dug into my tater tot eggs with my friend Jeremy. We are both Ross School of Business alum, marketing girlies at large, and we had a great time discussing things that start with the letter M. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Then we went back to his place for a second, and since I was complaining I was cold, he gave me a branded sweatshirt from the company. He works for Costarina. They make olive oil, not sponsored. And then I left. It was great seeing him, of course. And then I was back out in the cold, wet New York streets. I was just loving my life, trying to stay positive, even though I was getting trench foot because I stepped in way too many puddles. So I had to buy a literal package of socks at Target and change into them discreetly in the bathroom. Had to get a Coke too, get a little caffeine in there. It really doesn't take much for me. I'm already naturally wired, so like 30 to 50 milligrams will do the trick. But anyway, I had to check out, and I used my iPhone 15 Pro Max for Apple Pay, which is always convenient, and peep my gorgeous SKYLINE wallpaper, link in the video description. And after having a little Target time, I then decided to make my way to the 5th Ave Apple Store. The commute was going to be about 32 minutes, so not too bad for living in New York, I guess. And then I was back on the cold, wet streets getting my second pair of socks, soaking wet, of course. I mean, that does happen when you're an idiot and you wear prime knit NMDs on a rainy day in New York and look Five Nights at Freddy's. I still need to see that, and I got Dylan singing in my ear. Johnny's in the basement, mixing up the medicine I'm on. I don't have ADHD, you do. Here I am taking a picture with the 1X camera. I love the way these new sharp 24 megapixel photos are turning out. And of course, it is still very wet and cold as I make my way uptown to the 5th Ave Apple Store. And while I was waiting for my F train, I decided to pull out Twitter to see what kind of shenanigans the tech community was up to. I'm also included in that, by the way. But real quick, once again, this video is brought to you by Taurus and their amazing 360 MagSafe stand cases for the iPhone 15 series. They sent black and clear variants my way, but I obviously had to go with the clear one to complement my white titanium 15 Pro Max. The design is super clean and feels very high quality, and they also include custom buttons to swap in and out, so I had to swap mine out for orange ones to match the accents on my Apple Watch Ultra, which is super cool. But the main selling point here is the built-in O-ring, or as they call it, the UpPro Stand R. This baby rotates 360 degrees and brings so much functionality, like extra security when holding your phone, portrait and landscape stand modes, magnetism for adhering to magnetic surfaces like your fridge, and a way to prop up your phone on your Mac when using it as a high quality webcam. All in all, I love the way this case looks, feels, complements my iPhone and watch, along with the crazy functionality the UpPro Stand R brings. And of course, I'll leave a link down below in the video description if you're interested in checking these cases out. The Apple Watch Ultra 2, or any Apple Watch for that matter, is also really cool for navigation at a glance. And here I am back on Spotify listening to Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. And then I changed it to Conquistadora, a very niche song that I actually used in a sick MacBook Pro video that you should check out. And then I made my way out of the subway system only to be greeted with just gorgeous skyscraper scenery, so I whipped out the 1X camera to take a picture here, and again, these 24 megapixel photos turn out so nice, wonderful contrast and dynamic range. And then I used the 5X telephoto, again it's 120mm equivalent, and this is like 432 Park Ave, so this is another great picture I managed to take. I then managed to snag 2 more skyscraper or building photos using the action button to toggle the camera, which I think is super convenient, you know, toggling your camera app in a pinch, even when your phone is completely off or asleep. And here I am arriving to the gorgeous 5th Ave Apple Store. It never gets old. This design is so iconic. And of course the wind was trying to steal my umbrella. But anyway, I made my way down into the store. If you don't know, it is underneath the street, which is super cool. And if I haven't already said it, the objective for my store visit was to get a new case for my iPhone 15 Pro Max. I got the fine woven and just really didn't like it as much as I thought, so here I am looking at a black silicone case, and also too, I was considering a pink one, which I ended up getting later in Michigan because these were out of stock in New York for some reason. I also wanted to get another Apple Watch Ultra 2 band. The one that came with mine is nice, it's just not so much my style on most occasions, so I wanted something darker or more close to black. So as you can see here, I'm sort of looking through the selection, and I managed to find something that I liked here, and I actually had it pinned up on like a headboard so you can see what it looks like before you buy it. And then I managed to get my hands on the black silicone case that I wanted. Unfortunately, once again though, the pink was completely out of stock, and look at these like drawers, so cool. And after a little self-checkout, I had my accessories ready to go, beautiful views, and I managed to put both the case and the watch band on in the store just to have a little fun experience like that. Why not here? And again, peep my SKYLINE wallpaper. And with my new case, I was back on the street looking at the 5th Ave entrance, which looks even cooler when the sun starts going down. I also managed to snag 2 more pictures here of 5X, which turned out okay, but still impressive for what it is. And then I took a 1X photo of the store, of course, in this really cool lighting again. And as if one Apple store wasn't already enough, I decided to pay the Grand Central store a visit. It's a gorgeous one as well. And they also didn't have the pink silicone case that I wanted, but it's always nice to visit Grand Central, which of course happens to be a hub for the transportation system, the MTA. So I managed to use maps to hop on a 4 train that was FIDI bound, because that is where I will be later eating dinner, as you will see if you decide to stick around and keep watching. And I had to get some classical music in, of course, during the day as I made my way to the Wall Street area in the financial district. And of course, it was still wet and even more cold at this point in the evening. Nonetheless, I got a sick shot of World Trade Center 3 that you can see here. And the winds picked up. My umbrella decided to turn itself inside out, which was really fun. And here I am just thugging it out again in the wetness and the coldness. But I mean, when you're in New York, even if the weather's kind of drab or dreary, it's never a bad time, especially when you get to see the skyline, specifically in the financial district here. And here I am in the Oculus testing out the 1X camera and the 5X, as you'll see in a second here. So here's a wide shot. And then here I am toggling the 5X camera, 120mm equivalent, as you may know. I found that these turn out really, really nice. And here I am back outside getting another angle of the World Trade Center area here, as you can see. Decent low light performance, probably better with the 1X camera, but nonetheless, I am making my way to Parm, which is a restaurant in the financial district once again here. And I totally went some whack way to get there. Like, I really didn't have to, but I took some cool pictures along the way, as you can see here, kind of low light, high contrast type stuff. And then I found my way to the entrance. I totally did not walk through the entire like mall before realizing that the restaurant was right at the door. But anyway, I found my way in and sat myself at the table, looked at the menu, and just decided to get regular old spaghetti and meatballs just because like I'd never been there and I wanted to see, you know, what just the most basic item on the menu would taste like. My phone was kind of low, so I decided to slap on a MagSafe power bank from Anchor. Definitely check those out. I'll leave a link in the description. And then my salad came, pretty typical, but I thought it was delicious, and I'm just enjoying myself, vibing. You know, eating alone, especially like in a distant city that's not even your home yet, sounds kind of depressing, but I absolutely loved this evening. It was so just relaxed and enjoyable, and I got to enjoy my food. The spaghetti was absolutely amazing, with some parm on there, hence the name. But yeah, I really enjoyed this dinner, just vibing with myself. Solo trips are highly underrated. I definitely recommend you go on one if you have never done it. It just allows you to just kind of just do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about other people's agendas or worse attitudes, but I digress. Here I'm drinking some sangria, which was pretty good. But yeah, this whole event was such a vibe. They were playing that little bitty pretty one to talk to me music in the background. I'm not gonna like play it for copyright reasons, but just like, again, I just had this like solo Italian meal, you know, having some spaghetti in the sauce, and you know, in New York. The waitresses and waiters were super nice. But anyway, I made my way out, saw a quick peek at the World Trade Center, always a good time, and it was raining even harder, but nonetheless, that was fine. And then I was on my way back home to Brooklyn, which was quite a bit of a trek, but I was up to the challenge here. You dropped a bomb on me, baby. Hope you're enjoying the non-copyrighted dubs that I'm doing for the music. But here I am making my way back to Brooklyn once again here. Here we got another Jax Jones track. Wind to the left, sway to the right, drop it down low and take it back high. And here I am back in Brooklyn, and I gotta make a 10-minute walk to my Airbnb. It was a little scary, but you know what? I saved money. It was a decent, I mean, this place looks sick on the inside. The outside, a little scary, but you know, I was satisfied. Here I am changing into new clothes because before I go to bed, I have to shoot the intro to my iPhone 15 Plus battery vlog, so for continuity's sake, I needed to wear the same outfit, and here I am using my A6700 with a wide angle lens to shoot this. This is what the shot ended up looking like afterward. And then it was finally time to go to bed around 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a long day, but definitely a good one. And yeah, good night, New York. I will see you again soon.